Good to see you.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. It's a nice Monday morning.
Good.
Morning, Marcus.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Okay, video. Yay.
Oh, there's Margaret. Hey, Margaret.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay.
You're good. I can see you and hear you, so we're good.
Yes.
Right. Thanks for joining.
I'm still learning how to use Zoom.
It takes a little while.
My computer is not the best. My laptop. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see who else is coming in. Nina, can you hear us?
Can I ask you a question before we start?
Sure.
If I want to send a message like a question, what do I do? How do I do it?
There's a chat down. You see down at the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah, just click on that.
Okay.
And then you can type it at the bottom of that chat.
I see. Okay, let me try. Okay, I see. Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. Let's see. Hey, morning, Gail. So you've come in. Good to see you. Oh, there's Nina. Hi, Nina. And Joanne. Hi, Joanne. Good to see you again. And Mary. Can you hear us? If you can, just unmute and say hi. Phyllis, I see you're unmuted.
Mustache is growing.
Okay, just getting a couple of things set up over here. Just okay, all right, got that done. Let's see. Looks like somebody's in on the phone. Is that you, Lorraine? Can you hear us? And if you can hear us, Lorraine, you're muted. You'll need to unmute so we can hear you.
Morning, Wade. It's Mary from Florida.
Hey, Mary. How are you this morning? I'm
good, but I thought we were at 10 instead of 9:30, so I'm not quite ready for primetime TV, and y'all aren't ready to see me if I'm not ready for primetime TV. So.
Okay, as long as we can hear you and you can hear me, we're good.
Thanks.
Thanks for getting here. Appreciate it. Hey, morning, Sandy. I see you in there.
Hi, Wade.
Yes, good morning, Wade. How are you? This is Sandy.
Hey, Sandy. Good. I see Sandra is here as well. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Wade. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, we've got a few more people that are probably going to join us this morning, but we're about 4 minutes in, so I'm going to go ahead and get started getting things set up. That'll give them just another minute or so to get in before we get into the agenda, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So you should be seeing my slides now. And I'm moving your pictures over to my other screen over here so I can see you all on my side monitor. All right. There we go. See, Dolores has come in. Hi, Dolores. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone, and we'll probably end up remuting several times during the course of the class whenever we hear any background noise or echoes or anything like that. So just remember to check and see if you're muted before you ask a question or make a comment. If you're muted, just unmute yourself. You don't need to raise your hand or anything. Just unmute and go ahead and ask your question. That's fine. I've also opening the, I was just checking a couple messages here. All right, I just opened the chat as well. So if anyone is having trouble with their mic or just needs to reach us through the chat, that is now open and available. Anthony from our TA group is here with me this morning. He'll be helping to monitor the chat as well as helping with managing the class. Anthony, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your help. And with that, I think we have all the basics taken care of. Let's see. I see Melinda's come in. Morning, Melinda. So we're going to go ahead and get started again. So I've got a few more people will probably join us, but we're going to get started. So I want to officially open the class. This is Facebook, what it is, how it works, and why join. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoy the class. My name is Wade Yarbrough, and I'll be the guide for your class today. A little bit about my background. I was born and raised in a small farming community about 30 miles out of Memphis called Mason, Tennessee. I have a PhD in experimental psychology and have taught psychology off and on during my career, but most of the time I worked designing, installing, and training users how to use hospital information systems. So I've done a lot of adult education, but what I love about teaching here at Get Set Up is that I get to teach people like you that are in the class because you're interested in the class and instead of because someone made you take the class. And that is what we try to do at Get Set Up, is to create an environment where you can take classes you're interested in, but be with other people interested in the same topic. You can interact with each other. You can all interact with me, the guide for the class. So we hopefully are making a nice, safe, interactive environment for you. The session is being recorded, and anyone can request a copy of that recording after the class by sending an email to help@getsetup.io. And Anthony has put that link in the chat as well. So if you don't have that link already, you can copy that out of the chat and paste it into your email contacts. We're also live streaming the class this morning, so I do want to welcome anyone joining us via live stream. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoy the class as well. But I do want to remind you that the only way to interact with the other learners and ask questions of the guide is to go to our website and register for the class. And finally, we're not paid by Facebook or anybody else that we train on. We are purely trainers. So the objectives for today is, in this class, you should know what Facebook is and why so many people are using it. There are a lot of people using it. How and why posts appear on your news feed. That's one of the frequent questions that comes out, is how do these posts show up on my feed? I'll show you how to interact with posts and how to make new posts. And finally, you'll know how to find and manage your friends. I see there is a question in the chat about the presentation. We do not give out copies of the slides themselves. You can get a copy of the recording, which does have the video and the audio. So you could see any of the slides that you missed, but we don't send out the hard copy slides. Okay. All right, so let's talk about some other Facebook classes that we have. And this is a growing list. There's one I need to add. Facebook is a big topic, and so a lot more that we could cover in one class. So I'll probably refer to these other classes as I'm going through this class, and in some cases, some questions will come up that I'll probably refer you to these other classes just because we have to define the scope that we can cover in each class. So privacy is a big question and a big concern for lots of people. So we have a whole hour-long class on privacy on Facebook. Facebook Messenger is Facebook's messaging app. Again, we have a whole hour-long class on how to use Messenger. I'll show you where it is, but we're not going to go into how you use it today. And Facebook groups is another big topic. Facebook groups is how you find groups on Facebook that are with people that have something in common with you. And a good way to find friends. We'll talk again about that. I'll point you to it. But if you want to really learn how that works, we've got a class on that. And I'm also going to show you something called Facebook Rooms. And we have a class that's starting up this week or next week. I think it's later this week on that one. So we're going to have 5 different Facebook classes. So let's talk about what Facebook is. So Facebook is a platform intended for finding, networking, and connecting with friends. That was Facebook's original mission. It is still Facebook's mission. Facebook wants you to use their platform to find old friends, make new friends, interact with your friends. Facebook is the most popular social networking site worldwide. It has approaching 2 billion daily active users. That's not 1.8 billion people with a login. That's 1.8 billion people log in every day. That's mind-boggling. And you can access it lots of different ways. You can access it from a web browser. You can download the app to a tablet or a smartphone. So a number of different ways to get to Facebook. We're going to be using the app version today since that's the larger screen and it's the easiest to see the functionality. And there's some things you can only do on the web browser version. So that's what we'll be showing you today. So why are people using Facebook? Why are there almost 2 billion people logging in every day? Stay connected with family and friends is one of the big reasons, especially now that we don't get together physically as much as we used to, even though we're coming back to that, luckily. But it is a way to keep track of people that you don't see regularly. You can see pictures of them, so you can find out what they're doing, still feel connected to them, even though you're not around them anymore or as much. Find and reconnect with old friends is a great way to use Facebook. So you've got some time, you may want to figure out whatever happened to my 4th grade best friend that I haven't seen in the last 60 years. You can go onto Facebook and find that person. Find and connect with new friends. That's what Facebook groups is all about that I mentioned. No matter what hobby, interest, pastime that you have, there are multiple Facebook groups that have with other people that have that same interest: bird watching, stamp collecting, sports fans of any particular sports team. They all have groups out there. So it's a great way to find and connect and make new friends. And then finally, you can find and get updates from organizations and businesses. It can be like your newspaper. You can get information from organizations in your news feed. And again, as always, I'm going through this fairly quickly. If you have questions, comments, please just unmute and say, got a question, Wade, or please go over that again. Always happy to hear your questions and comments. Okay, 3 terms I want to define because I'll use these terms and it's fairly important to understand what they are because they affect a lot of how Facebook works. The first term is own Facebook. And that's basically anyone that has a Facebook account is on Facebook. That's sort of the base level of interaction because everybody is on Facebook. But if I'm on Facebook, then I can see public posts for anyone else on Facebook. I can see the public profile of anyone on Facebook, and I can message anyone on Facebook. So there's lots of things you can do with anyone else that has a Facebook account. Well, what Facebook is really trying to get you to do and to interact most effectively is to form friend relationships with people. And a friend is a 2-way commitment. Someone asks to be your friend, you agree. You ask someone to be your friend, they agree. So it's a 2-way commitment. And if you do that, then instead of just seeing public posts, you can also see their friends' posts. And I'll show you how to post later and dictate who sees your post. People typically have a different profile they show to their friends. They show a lot more information to their friends than they do just to the people on Facebook. And if your friends are basically your address book for Messenger, much easier to send a message to a friend than it is just someone that's on Facebook. So these are the benefits of forming that friend relationship. And the last term is following, which is a 1-way activity. Organizations and celebrities can create a page on Facebook, what's called a page. And with that page, they can send information out to people that follow them. You don't friend a page. So if it's an organization, Blue Cross Blue Shield, you can follow Blue Cross Blue Shield, get updates from Blue Cross Blue Shield. You don't friend them like you did a person, but you can follow them and get information. Same thing with celebrities. Taylor Swift has a page. Anyone can follow her page. She probably won't accept a friend request from you if you send her a friend request. Questions about these three terms? All right, well, let's jump into Facebook. I'm assuming most people, if not everybody, has a Facebook account already. If not, you just go to facebook.com and sign up. It's a little more lengthy sign up process than some of the others, but it is a free process and they do walk you through it. So it's not a complicated process. But one thing about Facebook, which is why Facebook has more privacy concerns than some of the other social media sites, is that Facebook collects lots of information: where you went to school, where you've worked, who your spouse is, where you live, lots of information that you can populate. We go over that in that privacy class. Let me kind of go over the layout of the land a little bit first. This left-hand side over here, I call it the table of contents. These are all the different places you can go within Facebook. And I'm going to click this See More at the bottom, and you'll see there are lots and lots of places, sections, tabs, things you can do in Facebook. You can see why we need 5 classes to cover everything. We're going to go over a few of these today, not all of them by any stretch. Up at the top, these are shortcuts to some what Facebook thinks are the most important ones over here, the ones people use the most. For example, here's Watch up here. Here's Watch over here. This is Marketplace. So Watch is like YouTube, to draw some analogies. Marketplace is like Craigslist. You can buy and sell products on Facebook Marketplace. I do a lot of selling on Facebook Marketplace, so that's what that one is. And it is also over here as well. Here's Groups. We talked about groups. This is where you can go and find people that have common interest. This is gaming. I don't do online gaming, so I don't ever go into that one, but that's what that one is. Your list over here may look different than mine because it resorts based on the places you go most often. Something you've never been to is probably way down here. Places you go fairly frequently are up here at the top.
Wait, may I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Would the things on the left that you're going through now, would they appear different on an iPad, like at the bottom?
It probably would. If you're on an app, if you're on an iPad using the app, it's going to look very different.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, now from your iPad, you could open a browser and go to the browser version, and it's going to look very similar, if not identical to this.
Now, what's the browser version rather than getting on your own Facebook page?
Just go to Safari and type in facebook.com.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Now, on the tablet, you can go either way. Okay. All right. So over here, we'll keep going over a little bit. And it's always fun teaching Facebook because they change their site almost daily, it seems like. I've never seen this tab before. I'm going to click it and see what it is. And it looks like this is really just another version of this list. So there's something new for me as well. So this is the menu, and it basically gives you another way to get to this list over here. And Facebook does that a good bit. There's several different ways to get to the same places. This is Facebook Messenger. I mentioned there's another whole class on this. This is where it's like texting. So if I want to send a message to my wife, I could click here, go into Messenger, click her. So from here, I can type a message. I can send her a picture. I can send her a GIF. I can do an audio call with her, or I could set up a video call with her. So you can text, audio call, or video call from here. And as I mentioned, your friends are in this list. So basically your contacts here are the people, your friends list. Makes it very easy to find these people. I can search by name. If I'm looking for somebody, I can just type Bob, and it starts to pop up people that start with that. About all we're going to cover with it, because again, there's another whole class around this one. And notifications we'll talk about a little later. And this is where you get into your account. And we'll talk about this a little bit later as well. We talk about this a lot in the privacy class. So that's basically a quick run around the screen, the outside anyway. The center part is your news feed. And it has several sections. Back when I first started, all that it had was posts from your friends and other people. Now it has some things on top of the old news feed. These are called stories. Stories are different. There's two ways to post. You can post a story or you can post to your feed. Stories are short. They're typically either a picture or a video. We'll go into one. Let's just click into this one. I haven't seen. And she's going to have two pictures. You can tell from up here, there's pictures. So that she went to Bluegrass and Barbecue Festival. So that's an example of what a story is. One of the biggest stories, and probably the biggest difference between a story, posting something as a story, or just posting it to your feed, is that these disappear in 24 hours. Whereas these last forever unless you delete it. I can go out and see things I posted 15 years ago. So that's sort of the attraction for a lot of people. They like to post something, but then not have it out there forever and just let it go away. And I'll show you later how to post to a story. Questions about stories, though? This whole concept of things that disappear in 24 hours has gotten very popular. It originated with a social media app called Snapchat, but now Facebook, Instagram, Twitter all use this idea of a 24-hour disappearing option for posting. Somebody's asking about jobs. There is on over here somewhere, there is a place anywhere to find jobs. And it's actually covered in another class as well. I don't see it off the top. I must be looking over it unless they've moved it somewhere else. But there is a Facebook jobs section. Oh, no. Interesting. I'm not seeing it, but yeah, there is a job section. And just look again quickly. That's interesting. Is anybody else seeing it? Am I just looking over it? Yeah, so unless they've taken it out, which could have happened too. They're constantly changing things.
I'm using an iPad and I see it after gaming.
Yep. Okay. It's in there somewhere, and I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it on mine, but it's sort of like LinkedIn. It's where you can go in, or Monster, or those kind of sites where you can go and find jobs and apply for jobs. All right, so let's keep going then. So this is the top. This is the stories. This is how you post something. We're going to come back and post in a couple of minutes, so we'll go over that in more detail in just a few minutes. And then this is rooms. And a Facebook room is like a Zoom session. Rooms competes with Zoom. Works very similarly, a little different focus. Facebook rooms are focused more on social get-togethers, whereas Zoom is more for business and training classes. You can use either one for either purpose, but they kind of come at it with a little different perspective. So if you want to just put together a quick video chat session with some friends or family members, Facebook gives you a nice, quick, easy way to do it. And we have a new class on this as well. So that spends a whole hour talking about how to create rooms and invite people and run the room. So for now, just kind of know it's very much like Zoom. So here's the real meat of the matter. In fact, let me just take questions. Any questions about this top section? this is the meat. This is probably why most people come to Facebook to begin with. They want to find out about, get information from their friends. So this is the true news feed. And there's 3 ways something can show up on your news feed. James Sennett is a friend of mine. This post is on my feed because he's my friend. So since we're friends, I'll see most of his posts. I won't see 100% of all my friends' posts. There's something called the Facebook algorithm that decides what posts from your friends it's going to put on your feed when. And it's based on how you interact with posts. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. Let's see. So when you see the word sponsored, that means that's an ad. So David Baldacci, whoever that is, paid Facebook to put this post on my feed. So when you see sponsored, think advertisement. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't tell Facebook to stop putting ads. You can scroll through them. But beyond that, there's not much you can do about that. In the middle of your feed, you'll see this people you may know. And this is where Facebook, again, is trying to help you find friends. Facebook's mission is to connect you with as many people as it can. So this will show you people you may know, and it's based on, most often, mutual friends. People that are friends with you, they figure you may want to be friends together. So like Brenda Gatlin and I have 13 mutual friends. I can hover here and see who those friends are. Looking at that list, I know those are all people I went to high school with. So she probably went to the same high school that I did. So you can go through here, so if you're still looking for friends, trying to build your friends list, this is a good way to find potential friends. Has nothing to do with the news feed. They just put that in the middle, people you may know. There's another way to get to this same list I'll show you later, but this is one way to find friends. Now the last one, sometimes I can find one and sometimes I can't. Let me scroll through here, see if I can find one. I'm not going to look forever because that's a sponsored. It's always this way. When I'm not looking for them, they're all over my feed. And now when I want to see one, but what I'm looking for is something from a page that I follow. And I'm not going to find one easily, and I'm not going to look any longer. But if I mentioned you can follow pages, and the one I was looking for, I follow a Brunswick County Sheriff's Department. I live in a hurricane area. They do lots of good posts in terms of when hurricanes are around, especially roads that are out, which shelters are open. But they have lots of good informational posts throughout the year. So I follow the Brunswick County Sheriff's Department. So their posts will show up here. That's from a page as opposed to from a friend. So your friends, pages you follow, and advertisements are the main things that show up on your feed. So let's talk about how you can interact with the post. And most of that is happening at the bottom of the post. And I'm going to go to a different one here. Okay, we could go to this one. I'm going to go back to the one above it when we're done here. But what I can do, I can like this post. So if I like the post, I can, there's several different types of like. You can do a traditional like, a thumbs up, or you can say you love it, you care, you think it's funny, you're shocked by it. So different emojis, they all are basically the same thing. They're all saying that you like that post. Now by liking that, it does 2 things. It tells Facebook that I liked it, and Facebook will make note of that and try to show me more things like that, because Facebook is trying to put things in my feed that I want to see. That way I'll keep coming back to Facebook. If I look at my feed and I never see anything I like, I'll stop coming to Facebook. They've lost a customer. So they're trying to help you see what you want to see. You have to help Facebook by telling Facebook what you like. So it also will tell that person. So Denise Hedden is going to get a notification that Wade liked her post. I can also write a comment. No one's commented on this one yet. Somebody's probably, here's several comments on this one. Here's So Steve Wells wrote a comment there. So that's the other thing you can do. You can click comment, or you can just click here and write something. Great post, Denise, really loved it. Whatever you want to say. And as part of your comment, you can also attach a photograph or a GIF. If you're not familiar with GIFs, GIFs are those little moving pictures. So you can comment with the GIF, text, and or all of those. The third thing you can do in some cases is share. And we'll talk about posting in a minute, but you can share now publicly. You can share it to your news feed, which means you can select who's going to see it. You can put it on a story. So if I click here, it'll create a story. We talked about stories already, and it'll be in that story. Let me see what this says. You can send a message. So maybe I think my wife would like to see this. So I can click here and send her a message. It'll open up Messenger and I can send her a message. We talked about groups. If you belong to a group and you think all of your group members would like to see this, you can share it to a group. So that's what sharing is. Questions about interacting with a post?
What is share to a page and the one at the bottom on those share things? please?
Share to a page is if your pages are from businesses, and this I think has to be if you have a page.
Oh, okay.
You can share it to your page. I don't have a page, so I can't share that.
And what about the profile? Share to a friend.
Well, go to the profiles. You can share it to someone's profile, but not put it on anyone's feed. So if I wanted to, it's kind of similar. We're picking up a little background noise there. Okay. Let's say I want my wife to see this. I could send her a message with a link to it, or I could just put it on her profile. So if I did this, I can post it to her profile, and I'll show you what the profile looks like in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
But in that case, in either one of those cases, she's the only one that would get that. So 2 ways to send it just to her. I want to go back up to the post above, and some of this is going to make more sense when we get into posting, which is what we're going to do next. But here I've got 3 options: like, comment, and share. The one above it, I've got like and comment. I don't have share. That tells me this post was made as a public post. This was posted to friends only. So in order for, so Cindy wanted only her friends to see this. If she had a share here, if I shared it with my friends, then all of my friends aren't her friends. So now people that aren't her friends are seeing her post. She didn't want that to happen. So if you post to friends, this share button doesn't appear. If you post to public, then you're saying it's public. Anybody can see it, so anybody can share it with anybody else.
Are you going to cover how you attach things like a GIF, or if you can attach a link to another site, how you actually do that?
When you're posting something?
Yes.
Yep, we're heading there now. Let's go up and post.
All right.
And I kind of was setting the frame here, and I know I've got a few open questions here. There's 2 ways to post. Well, there used to be, and one of them is gone. Let me go back. I'm just going to bump the home button, which will take me back to home and take me to the top of my feed. And it's right here. Okay. So this is where you can post something. And I actually started a post that I never finished. So let me get rid of it. All right. So let me get rid of that. Okay, we'll pick up from here anyway. So this is where you create a post. And I'm going to just go ahead and I don't want to do that. That is really interesting. It's not letting me get rid of that post. Well, okay, we'll stick with it, and I'll show you what I was going to do with that one anyway. This is maybe where I can. Okay. I'm going to do something real quick just to get this out of here. There we go. All right. Don't ask me what I did. I was trying to get rid of that. All right. So this is where you can start a post. And it starts with what's on your mind. So this is where you can type something. Now, most posts start with a picture or have a picture. And so I typically start with a picture, and then I say something about that picture. So this is where you can get to your photos. So I'll click there. I'm on a Windows device, so it takes me to my File Explorer, and I can get to any photos that are either on my computer or any cloud drives that I'm connected to. Most of my pictures are in my iCloud photos, so I'm going to click there and find a picture or a video. You can post either. Trying to find something I haven't posted before. Let's grab that one. And that's a short video. So then you can make a comment about it. So you can type something here. You can add to your post. I think there's somebody asking you, or you can just have a post that you can add emojis to it, or you can do GIFs. I'll come back and do one with a GIF. Let me just do a simple post, because this is a fairly typical post. You just have a picture or a video. You have a comment about it. And the most important part here is then you pick who's going to see it. And here's what I was talking about before. If I post it as public, which probably 85% of the posts are posted as public, anyone on Facebook can see it. It's basically what I'm saying. So that's going to put that share button down there. So I share it with, it'll go to all of my friends, but my friends can share it with their friends, who can share it with their friends, who can share it with their friends. So this post could end up anywhere on Facebook. If I just want my friends to see it, I can pick friends here. It will just be put on the feeds of my friends. That share button will be gone. So I know that no one except my friends can see this. Questions about that? Now, there's lots of other options here, and we cover this in depth in the privacy class. I'll kind of mention it briefly here. All these other options are subsets of friends. So this means any of my friends can see this. I could say friends except for certain people. So I can exclude some people that I don't want to see it, even though they're my friends. I can select specific friends. So in this case, I can go down and just through my list of friends and say that I want Michelle to see it and Anne to see it. And so you can go and pick who you want to see it. And lots of other groups you can send it to: close friends, high school friends, family friends. Again, we'll go over that in this privacy class, how you go and set up these groups and can control it. Most people don't do this. Most people post public or friends. Probably 98% of the posts are either public or friends.
When you put the photo in, you just found a photo and clicked on it, and it came to wherever it was that you could send it?
Yep, and I'll do another one too if I did that a little too fast. Yeah. Let me post this and we'll come back. I won't post the next one, but I'll post this one. This is what I was trying to get rid of and can't figure out how to get rid of. So let's go ahead. And so what I'm going to do instead, since this one is kind of a funny one, I'm going to post it just to my wife. And I'm going to slide this up a little bit. You can see there's a little bit down here which you can't see on the screen where it says save changes. And now now you can see I'm going to share it with just specific friends. I'm going to post. Give me a clean slate to work from. Okay, so that's now been posted. Let me go in and do another one. Okay. Now, so that was posting a picture or a video. And again, just if I went through it too quickly, all you have to do is just click here, takes you to your computer. You go find where your pictures are and you just click on a picture. That you want to include and click open. And it brings that picture in. I can add another picture. So you can have, if you want to have multiple pictures, you can add another picture from here. But there's the picture, and this was another video, but picture or video. You change your mind, you can take it out. Did that, was that Kathleen? Did that answer your question, Kathleen?
Yes. Oftentimes, you know, if you don't use this, you don't know what to do and where it is and what it means. So thank you.
Yep. Now, whenever you see a triple dot, click that. That means there's more options here. And it repeats some of those options. So here's that photo again. But we talked about GIFs. GIFs are getting really popular. So I want to show you how to do a GIF. So if I wanted to just post a GIF instead of, you can pick a GIF and then send that to whoever you want to send it to. So that's what GIFs are.
So what do you, I was trying to send somebody a gift and I couldn't do it. Do you go to the gift site and click on something, or how do you get the gift?
Yeah, so in this case, you click on the triple dot.
Right.
And then go to GIF.
Okay.
And then just, and if there's one in particular you're looking for, you can search or you can just start scrolling through them.
So the gifts are there once you click on the gift. You can choose from those gifts, or?
Yeah, they're, yeah, so you're not, they're predefined out there. Facebook has put those out there.
Okay, so it's already there.
They're already there. Yeah, you don't have to go anything. They don't come off your computer or anything. They're, so they're different out here. A lot of them are seasonal. So there'll probably be one for, you know, like Happy Mother's Day when it's Mother's Day, those sorts of things.
And if you go on another site, you just click on whatever it is on the other site?
Well, there's not another site to go to here. You may be using a different, if you're in Instagram, Instagram will have different gifts than Facebook potentially. But this is your only choice here. If you're posting something on Facebook, you would come into this list of gifts and pick the ones you want.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And I'll just click it again. So I want the little dancing dog. I just click the dancing dog. And now that's what I would send. Now there's a couple other things that you can do. So if I wanted my wife to see this and I posted it to, and let's say I posted it as public, but I want to make sure she sees it. There's several ways I can do that. And within my post, I can put the @ sign and then her name. And I start typing it and it'll give me people that have KAR somewhere in their name, but there she is. So I can just pick that. And that will send her a notification that I have mentioned her in a post. I could say something. Karen Michelle Yarborough thought you, whatever you want to say, but by putting that in there, that's going to now send her a notification. She can go to her notification and there'll be a link to that post. So it'll take her back to here to make sure she sees it. Now, if it was a picture of the two of us doing something, and so this is a picture where we were having lunch together. What you can do, and it really does the same thing, but in this case, you can tag somebody, and this is where it's tagging. And tagging means that you were with that person. So I'm going to tag her here. And you can tag more than one person. I'm just going to tag her. And it says Wade Yarborough is with Karen Michelle Yarborough. So that basically is telling anyone that sees this post that, you know, I was with Michelle when we took this picture. She'll still get a notification. So whether you do a tag or whether you do a mention, it's kind of the same result.
Why would you want to do this?
So to make sure she sees this post.
Okay, but when you were with your wife, why would you want to announce that particularly?
Well, to me, it's not so much announcing it. It's to make sure that my wife will see this. I want her to get the notification. And these are the two ways I can have her get a notification. Because normally, you know, you're getting so much stuff on your feed. If I just post it, she may never see it because it may show up on her feed, and then, you know, she doesn't check Facebook for another day, and it's so far down the feed, she just never scrolls down and sees it. So there's a good chance that even if Facebook posts something on a friend's page, they may not see it. Whereas if I want to make sure somebody sees it, then I can either mention them, or if they were there, I can tag them. Either way, they'll get a notification.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But that's the real end result if you want them to see that post. And it will actually also send an email saying that you were tagged in a post. So I think that was all the different things I want to talk about. Any other questions about posting? Because we're just about to run out of time. I do want to show you a couple more things here. All right, so I'm not going to post that one. What I want to do is to go to the profile, because we mentioned profiles earlier, and this is how you get to your profile. And so yeah, let's just go there, and I'm going to go ahead and leave. So this is my profile. And your profile is where all of your stuff is. So this is where, when you put in where you went to school, you know, where you went, where you lived, where you grew up, where you've worked, that's all in your profile. But what is also in your profile is everything you've posted. Now, other people can post something to your profile. We saw that. I think that Kathleen or somebody brought that up, that if you want to post something to a friend's profile, it'll put it here on their profile. It won't show up on the news feed. I don't ever do that one, but it has everything I've posted, so I can go back and look at everything I've posted, and it also shows any comments that anyone has made about those posts, how many likes I've gotten, etc. So that's what's on your profile. Main reason I was coming here for today is that what's also here, back to the top of the profile, is your friends tab. So if I click here, this takes you to your friends section. It shows you all of your friends. It starts showing you everybody. There's some filters here, recently added friends, friends with the same birthday, people who went to the same high school that you went to, people that live in the same city where you live, people that have the same hometown as you do. So different ways you can find friends, as well as just a plain old search. If I'm looking for Bob, I can, you can start typing and it'll show you people that have that match that name, Margaret Boyd. So different ways you can get to your friends. A couple of things to mention here is that beside each one of your friends, there is a triple dot. This is where you can mark them as favorites. And if you mark somebody as a favorite, that means you're telling Facebook, I like this person, I want to see their post. And Facebook will always put their post on your feed. As I mentioned before, Facebook doesn't always put everything, every one of your friends' posts on your feed. I've got 220 friends. I know people that have over 1,000 friends. There's no way every post from every friend could be put on your feed and you ever have a chance of seeing it. So if there's friends, but you never like their post, you never interact with their post, Facebook will stop putting their post on your feed. This is one way you can say, hey, I really like Letitia Wilson, mark her as a favorite, and all her posts will show up. So I do this with family members especially. So if anybody in my family is posting something, I want to make sure that I see it. And then you can also unfollow and unfriend them. And we talked about this in the privacy class, but unfollowing means stop showing me any of their posts. So you'd still be friends, but it just says stop putting that person's posts on my feed. I don't want to see them. And if you unfriend them, it basically puts things back like you were before you were friended. You're no longer friends. They're not notified if you do either one of these things. They can figure it out if they're fairly savvy in Facebook, but they don't get a message from Facebook saying, hey, Wade just unfollowed you. The other thing in here is friend requests. So if someone asks to be your friend, it'll show up here as a friend request. You can confirm, that means we're friends, or you can delete it saying, I'm not going to be friends with that person. Again, they're not notified of what if you confirm, they're notified because they're told you're now friends with William Sterling. If you delete it, they're not told that you deleted it. Lots of times you'll see these and you're saying Sherry Kuntz. I don't know who Sherry Kuntz is. If you click their name right here, it'll take you to their profile. We were just in your profile. This is their profile. And this is where you can find out some information about them to try and figure out who they are. And I mentioned earlier, you can control what people can see. Sherry and I at this point are just both on Facebook. And she's pretty much decided to show nothing to people that aren't friends. She's not telling me where she worked, where she went to college, where she's lived. So really, I don't have much way to know who she is. She is showing me her friends. And so I can see mutual friends. I can also see this over here, mutual friends. And again, I can look at that list and I know those are all people I went to high school with, grew up in the same town. So I figure she must be from there, but you know, I'm not sure. So I probably am not going to accept that friend request because I'm not sure who she is.
Wait, I'm not always sure if the friend request is actually coming from that person or is that an automatic thing or what? I always wonder about that.
This means that they have sent you a friend request. I mean, so Facebook doesn't do friend requests automatically or anything. There's no way to send a friend request to someone else. So they did ask to be your friend. And like in these cases, they're both mutual friends. So they probably saw that. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if you don't want to confirm that friend request, you don't have to. Now, like in this case, if I can't figure out who she is, because she didn't tell me much, but I think maybe I know who she is, I can send her a message. Because remember, you can message anyone on Facebook. So I could send her a message and say, Sherry, are you the same person that we were in high school together, or that you were the homecoming queen, or whatever, something that you think she would know if it's really the person you think it is. And if they respond back, yes, so yeah, and then you know it's the same person, and you can confirm their friend request. So that's another way to check somebody out before you accept their friend request, is send them a message. And this is people you may know. We saw that on the feed, but this is always here. So if you're looking for friends, just because you have people you want to add to your list, this shows you potential friends, and it tells you why. Their friend requests, it's a mutual friend, but sometimes they live in the same city where you live, or they grew up in the same city you grew up, etc. So that's kind of finding friends, managing friends. We are almost out of time, but I do want to show you one other thing really quick, and then we're going to have to get through the closing quickly. But because one of the reasons I mentioned that you might want to be on Facebook is to find an old friend of yours, somebody you went to high school or went to grammar school with. So I'm going to come up here to search, and I'm looking for my old friend, Mac Williamson. And so I put that in, and then I say search for Mac Williamson. And it shows me Mac Williamsons. Now there's probably 50,000 Mac Williamsons, probably maybe 500,000 Mac Williamsons on Facebook. But Facebook starts showing me people that have something related to me based on my profile. They grew up in the same town, they went to the same high school, they worked someplace you worked. So they don't just start showing you randomly people. But if you don't see the person from here, you can help them find it, because they don't know what Mac Williamson is. Mac Williamson could be a restaurant. It could be a business of some type. So you can say, I'm looking for people. So now Facebook filters it just for people. And then you can even add more information. You can say, I know where this person, a city where this person was, because we both grew up in Mason, Tennessee. So I can say, show me all the Mac Williamsons from Mason, Tennessee. It is only one, and that is him. So now maybe instead of going to the same town, maybe we went to the same high school. So I could say, show me Mac Williamsons that went to Byers Hall High School. So several ways it can help you find somebody. Now, in this case, he did go to Byers Hall High School, but in his profile, he didn't say that. So it's not showing up. Facebook can only tell me what that person has told them. So sometimes it's hard if they're not telling you much information. Everybody see how that worked? Okay. All right. So I have run out of time here. Let me quickly go to the closing. I'm going to skip the related classes because we talked about the related classes already. There are several, and I'll put them in the email that's going to come out after class as well. So let's go quickly to the closing. There will be an email coming out after class, and it will have several sections, including some class notes. So there'll be links to other information about Facebook. I'll also put links to those other Facebook classes. So if you want to take any of those, you can just click the link in the email to take those classes. If you want to recommend the class to a friend, you can post a link on Facebook to the class, or you can send a link via email. There'll be links to 3 classes you might want to take, as well as a link to give feedback. If you click give feedback, it'll open our feedback form, only 2 questions, very quick. And the last link is View Schedule, which takes you to our website where you can book another class. If you're looking for a class, again, you're interested in more Facebook classes, I think the fastest way to find it is just to use a keyword search. So you can type Facebook here, and it will show you all the Facebook classes. Page is loading kind of slow this morning. I'm not sure if it's my internet or if our website is running slow today. So we're having trouble, but But you get the, hopefully you get the idea. Put Facebook here, and normally it should give you a list of all of the classes that have the word Facebook in the class title or description, and you can just select from there. Okay, so we are at the end of the hour, so I need to let you go anyway to get to your next class. I do want to thank you for attending. Hope you enjoyed the class and learned some things about Facebook, and hope I see you in one of those other Facebook classes or another class that I teach. Thanks everybody for coming.
Bye,
Have a
Wade.
great day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Enjoy
Bye
the
now.
class.
Bye-bye.